All right, so I'm going to give an introduction to electrical circuits in this little video series, starting with a little outline of what I'm going to talk about uh, today. Well, not today. I think this is going to be split up into several different videos because I want to keep the videos pretty short and just make sure that the lecture material is bite sized and easy to digest in small pieces. So first, just going to talk about charge and electricity, kind of stuff you've learned in physics 220, or sorry, physics 181 most likely. Then I'm going to talk about voltage, current, and resistance. I actually have this little laser pointer feature that I like. So first I'm going to talk about charge and electricity. Then I'm going to talk about voltage, current, and resistance, what those are. Those are going to be the three fundamental quantities that we're interested in finding in DC circuits pretty typically, and working with quite a bit in this class. Then I'm going to talk about the basic elements of circuits, starting with the DC voltage source, and then the current source, and the resistor. Those three right there are really the three that we care about as far as circuit elements go for the first maybe 60% of this class. And then after that, we're going to talk about the wire, ground, and junctions and nodes, which are all important pieces of the circuit schematic, we call it. The schematic is basically just another fancy name for the diagram of the circuits that we're going to draw and analyze. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about the simplest circuit, which is just a single source, single resistor circuit. And then we'll go ahead and solve that circuit. This is all just kind of overview for this module or this section of the class, if you will. But again, this is just going to be a short video to start because I'm not going to go through all of this in one video. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is charge and electricity. And I want to just go ahead and give a brief atomic structure review, probably stuff that we all learned back in chemistry. Okay? And so here we see a carbon atom. Carbon is element number 6 on the periodic table. Oxygen on the right is element number 8. And if you remember correctly, 6, carbon 6, the reason why it's number 6 is because it has 6 protons in its nucleus, and it also has 6 electrons in its orbitals. Same goes for oxygen. Oxygen has 8 protons and 8 electrons, which you can see, you can count. I've drawn the electrons in yellow with the little minus symbol. And if you remember correctly from chemistry, we talk about different orbitals that atoms have and where these electrons exist in the structure of the atom. And so the innermost orbital or shell is this one here on the carbon atom and this one here on the oxygen atom. And each of those only holds 2 electrons. For any atom, the innermost orbital can only hold 2 electrons. And so we see that that's the case for carbon, and it's also the case for oxygen. However, when we move out to the next level here, let me go to the next slide here. We move out to the next level. The second orbital can hold as many as 8. So you can see these holes here. Carbon only has 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons left out of the total 6 that it has. So those 4 electrons are in the outer shell, but that doesn't mean that shell is full. That shell can hold another 4 electrons potentially. It has the storage capability basically for 4 more electrons. And the same with oxygen, except oxygen is element number 8. So after that first orbital, which contains, the first 2 electrons, the next 6 are stored in that outer electron shell. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we have room for a 7th and 8th electron. So if electron was coming by, this atom, moving past this atom, it might find its way into this position right here. And then carbon would then have an extra electron, and that would form an ion, which is a basically negatively charged version of carbon. And these are things that we learned about in chemistry, and they're very important for electronics and circuits in general. And so for this video, I think I'm going to wrap it up right there and kind of just stop. And then in the next video, I'm going to sort of move into the next phase of this lecture, which is talking about the comparison between mass and gravity versus charge and electricity.